Hello, hello Aquarius. We're going to jump right into your singles. This will be for the last couple of weeks of March 2021, and then we'll flow right into the couples. As you know, if you watch my readings, singles and couples readings, often the energy runs together, so you might just want to watch the whole thing, your moon and your rising sign. Alrighty, Aquas, let's see. The moon. We have secrets coming to light, things that have been in the dark coming to your attention now for my Aquarius singles. We have, I don't know why I just got people, some of the people who are vibing with me who are recent singles are going to come to find out exactly what was going on behind their backs within relationships. And some things that have been done behind closed doors are going to be coming to the light. I see secrets being exposed, third parties being exposed, kinky behaviors being exposed for some aquas or people connected to aquas. I also see nervousness in this card. I feel uncertainty in this card, which is really odd for Aquariuses who are very cerebral and think about everything and very analytical and tend not to let too many things bother them. But this is something that struck a chord with you. This is something that was really important to you. A massively important situation that was actually it feels life-altering a little bit, so it's caused you to reevaluate some things, make some changes, reevaluate who's going to be in your life, understanding two wrongs don't make a right, and doing your best to move on and leave the toxicity behind after these secrets come out. And for those of you who haven't heard anything yet, it looks like in the next couple of years, the next couple of weeks, that somebody's going to be spilling the beans over some things that have happened over the past couple of years. For my Aquariuses who are single or newly singled out there, we see some truths coming forward. This card is reading for strong truths coming out of some scenarios, some revelations about some decisions that possibly were made by Aquarius or people around Aquarius making decisions for them, and Aquarius coming to the conclusion that these decisions have not always been the right decisions for them. And maybe there were times where you should have listened to your intuition and listened to your gut when it was telling you to make choices, but you made choices based upon family, friends, society, and things of that nature. So you're reevaluating some choices that have gotten you to a place that you don't necessarily want to be. This is a very introspective time for my Aquarius as we're moving into spring. It looks like you're wanting to make some serious changes in your life about the way you operate, about the way you love, about the way you receive love, give love, communicate, and things of that nature. I'm reading this very heavy for my singles right now. The sun, it looks like you have some positivity after all of this evaluation, after all of this change. It looks like you potentially have someone Leo aspected or Leo on the cusp, but it looks like a Leo is going to play an important role in these decisions and changes that are happening. But also, it looks like you have a lot of abundance and fruition and possibilities, lots of fertility coming in during this time period. For many of my Aquariuses out there that are single, you might find yourself getting a love offer or attempting to give a love offer to a Leo person or someone who at least presents themselves in a Leo-like energy. And we also just see new abundant beginnings after your life changes and life choices, and kind of just taking your power back, Aquarius. People who thought they can control the way you think, feel, and what you were going to do with your life. I feel a lot of my Aquarius singles are realizing their life is for them to live, regardless of other people's religious expectations or societal expectations that were placed upon you without choice as you grew up. You're going to do what's right, because ultimately that's actually what the universe wants, is for you to live your path and live out your fate and not the fate that others, humans, dictate for you. Okay, we see a wish. We see you in your own energy. We see you getting a wish, really contemplating. We see another potential air sign coming in. But we see, you filling one pot while emptying another. Something in the past you thought was your wish, you thought was your dream come true, or you allowed others to allow you to think that. You're finding it wasn't. So now, you're dipping from the wishing well again, and it looks like this abundant wish. You're in your energy and moving back into your energy, your highest aspect of your energy. Again, taking your power back. And it looks like that's going to move some things forward for a lot of my Aquarius out there that are currently single, recently single, and looking to just move forward more positively in their love life and life in general. We have a jumper. Poverty, bringing yourself out of the cold. feeling like this previous relationship or situation that you were in put you in the cold. It isolated you from people you should have been around. Some of my Aquarius allowed family and friends to allow them to make changes and choices that eliminated some really good people from their lives, and you ended up inadvertently putting removing good people from your life. And I see you kind of looking back on this situation and wishing you had made a better choice, and looking at options and being very introspective to see if there's anything you can do to bring it back. This scenario or relationship, these people from the past that were really good people to you that you might have put out in the cold and sacrificed for a relationship that wasn't worth it or worthwhile. And I also see a lot of my a single Aquarius pulling themselves out of that energy after being disrespected or in a bad relationship yourself, and finally coming to a place where you realize you are in charge of your life. No one controls you. You have free will, and regardless of what your family, friends, and society thinks you should be doing, you're a good person and you do the right thing and you make the right choices that are best for you. And you don't have to explain that to anybody. It's a lot of taking your power back and going back, trying to correct some mistakes, or things that you feel, at least for those of my singles who are vibing with me, that you've made, or just walking away from people who have wronged you after truths come out and putting these people out in the cold where they belong. Okay, we see transformation. We see a lot of my Aquarius singles. Again, you are making serious changes. You are taking your power back. You're going through a death and a rebirth. You are ending the negative relationships. You are trying to call back in the positive ones that ended as a result of a negative situation and relationship. A lot of you are changing your entire mentality and your entire outlook on life and how you're going to move forward from this point on, realizing that some of the steps you were taking were for others. They were never your steps meant to be taken. They were the steps that others thought you should be taking. Now you're going to be changing, and it's going to ruffle some feathers that you're not going to be the normal Aquarius that just goes with the flow and does what others tell you and their advice when it comes to certain things. But that's what's going to be most beneficial for you, Aquarius. The universe is saying, open your heart back up to love. This last situation is not going to be the end all be all. You've allowed situations and circumstances within your life to shut off your heart chakra, and you're connecting more with your logical, intellectual side, and the universe is begging you to balance out this energy so that you will be able to make a greater assessment moving forward about the people that should be in your life and the people that should not be in your life. And you'll make the decisions based on more appropriate things, and not so much things that don't matter in the long run, but the things that'll last and that you'll find lasting in your life for my Aquarius singles. So open your heart, do some heart chakra work. Okay, make sure you look at your moon and rising and get a clearer picture. And if you need a reading on your specific situation, go ahead and leave a comment below or email me. Let's see what Kipper has for my singles. I feel the weight of your previous situation still lingering with you. Okay, Kipper says expectation. It looks like we have a lot of Aquarius gazing out. Again, we're gazing back into situations that we wish we could change. I'm reading this expectation card as, you having an expectation of where your life would have been right now by this point, regardless of your age, and it not being there. And some of my Aquarius is realizing they allowed other people to put false expectations of what their life should be on them, and you operated within that mind frame, Aquarius, and because of that you got off of your path and you lived by other people's expectations, and it caused you not to be on the path you were meant to be on. So you're trying to make some course corrections, and now you're expecting change, and you have to put the work in. You have to heal your heart to get the change that you wanted. So we see some abundance coming in for our singles out there, our single Aquariuses. We know that you're logical. We know that you're very analytical. A lot of heads of industry, CEOs, CFOs are Aquarius. A lot of inventors are also Aquarius. So we see some things that you were doing paying off in the universe, trying to correct some energy. But most Aquariuses don't really have a financial issue. It's usually an emotional lack. It's usually a lack of emotional abundance. And even if you have it, you don't really express it. The universe is saying, open that heart up. Don't be afraid to express the love that you want to receive in return, because keeping yourself closed off is going to keep you in a cycle of bad relationships. Okay. Finally, for our singles, the gates of heaven. All beings have an ultimate spiritual destiny of happiness and freedom. Yet some can become frightened of divine love and believe they will do better to hide from it instead of moving towards it. Sometimes we need to help beings find their way to the light by holding peace and unconditional love in our hearts as we pray for the good of that all creatures deserve. Again, open your heart to love. The universe is saying you are a special person. This is echoing everything I just said to you. You have a destiny. Some people have corrupted your destiny and overlaid their grid over yours and placed expectations of your life for their failed expectations. And that is just not the life meant for any of my Aquariuses out there. I mean, you are the inventors of the universe. You are the scientists of the universe. You are meant to create. You are meant to thrive, and you're meant to do it unabashed and uncontrolled. You're meant to run wild and free with your love and with your passions, and because Aquarius plays such an integral role in the universe, and not that every sign doesn't, but in the formation of the intellectual part of the universe. Aquarius' jobs are so massively important, and what I've found is that a lot of times people in certain aspects, people in certain birth years or certain signs will be burdened upon basically by their family, friends, and society, as these people sometimes knowingly and sometimes unknowingly try to throw them off the track of where they should be and what you should be doing. But I see a lot of my Aquariuses wising up to that and making changes because of it. Taking your power back and saying, I'm not going to be listening to people who live their lives already. This life is mine to live, and I'm going to do what makes me happy. So we're going to go ahead on to Aquariuses that are in relationships. Our long-term relationship Aquarius, our long-term dating Aquariuses, our Aquariuses that live together with their partner, our Aquariuses that are engaged and married. We're going to move on to our Aquariuses who are coupled. If you're vibing with this energy and you're vibing with what I'm feeling and what I'm saying, Aquarius, I really appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up if you're appreciating my time. I appreciate you watching today. And take your power back. No one has the right to control you. Your heart, your feelings, your wants, or your needs. So long as you're not hurting anyone, you're not hurting yourself. No one should be playing a role in these important steps that you're taking. I see new cycles wanting to start for you too, singles, okay? So keep that in mind for my Aquarius singles out there as we roll into our Aquarius couples. Got a bit of a heavy energy for my Aquarius couples. And I'm also feeling like, although I do not like to discuss health, I feel like somebody's recovering from an illness. Thumbs up, Aquarius, is somebody close to you if your spouse is recovering from a surgery or illness of some kind. Or you. But I feel heavy. So let's see what the universe is saying for these upcoming weeks for you guys. Let me read for our Aquarius couples. Let's see. All right, we have the Magician. We have Aquarius couples making changes, using your resources wisely, using your intellect amongst one another. I see an Aquarius out there that has a very potentially a water sign mate. So you're putting the best of both worlds kind of together to bring some plans into fruition. I see some Aquarius doing in vitro, or some sort of a fertilization, trying to get pregnant. I see those things being abundant and fruitful in the spring. Lots of new beginnings, lots of self-created new starts for my Aquarius couples that are going to be very prosperous coming up in the spring. It looks like a lot of new starts though. Yeah, for my Aquarius couples in the spring, some of you guys are relocating to a different state or country as well. I got with that card. Hillside location, more hills, more greenery, less of a city scene for a lot of my Aquarius couples. We also have 3 of summer. We see lots of parties, celebrations coming up from my Aquarius couples. Some of you guys are going to be announcing births, raises, promotions, housewarming parties, moving, new cars, celebrating with friends, families, and small groups and gatherings. We see some Aquariuses who are in relationships healing from third-party situations. I don't see infidelity. I see more of an emotional cheating, a time cheating, giving your time and emotion to someone else that is not part of your commitment. So we see those things changing, turning around, third party being fully expelled, and positive changes taking place for you guys. I see graduations, births, raises, promotions, of course. See additions. In addition to a home, somebody's going to get a mobile home too. You're going to have a property, but you're going to get a mobile home too. Somebody's looking at mobile homes. Okay. That's awesome. That's fun, right? Nice way to start the summer, taking trips, vacation, new starts, new abundance, new homes, traveling. Thumbs up for that, Aquarius couples. We see 8 of Autumn. Do research before you can make any major purchases. It's the first thing I immediately got off this card. You're going to want to check homeowners warranties. You're going to want to check and have 2 inspections on properties that you buy. If you buy a vehicle or a mobile home, you're going to want to take it to 2 mechanics and get 2 electrical reads on it. I'm getting electrical for cars. Have the electrical checked by a mechanic before you make any purchases, even if it's certified used. Okay, make sure the recalls have been done on those cars. Make sure you're working with reputable realtors and agents and things of that, title companies and things of that nature. Just do your due diligence as you move forward, which I really don't have to say to an Aquarius. It's like, come on, you basically can teach a class in anything. You could be a teacher for anything. So it's like the last thing I would say seriously to an Aquarius is do your research or have due diligence, short of you guys just being completely exhausted and overwhelmed and not having the time. So we see a lot of Aquarius who maybe recently separated from a spouse or is thinking about potentially separating from a spouse, thinking about somebody from the past, having nostalgic thoughts about the person. We kind of echoed this in the first reading for our Aquarius singles, but I see some Aquariuses who find themselves in a long-term situation right now who may be thinking about somebody from the past who they feel is their actual twin flame soulmate, realizing that the person that they're with is not this person from the past that everybody told them to get rid of. So I see some Aquariuses using their magician's wand, making the change to eliminate the person that shouldn't be there and try to go back to their soulmate. But for those of you guys who do not find yourself in that situation, another aspect of this card is reading as spending time trying to create children, spending time with children within your family, bringing children within your family, nostalgic times, spending a lot of time with family and friends, reminiscing about good times pre-pandemic, times being spent together, and just overall nostalgia from the past, wanting to kind of relive an aspect. I feel this card as an Aquarius out there who's in a relationship that will be leaving that relationship very soon or is parting that relationship as we speak. Really trying to figure out a way how to get back to somebody from the past. And honestly, that just starts with communication. You need to be confident in yourself, in your movements, and in your choices, and open up communication. If that person is willing, it's serendipity and it'll work out. The seed you planted in the past, you're looking at them and wondering if they're going to grow again. For those of you who are looking back on this past situation here, you're looking at if you can go back and water these seeds. Will they still be nurtured the same way they were nurtured before when you left them there for the other person? Also, for those of you who are coupled in happy, high aspected relationships, for my Aquarius is out there, I see you guys doing work towards your home. I see people working within the garden, literally growing plants. I see that stocks and bonds and things of that nature are coming to fruition. I see 401ks getting a nice injection of cash. I see just growth in different aspects of very important planes of your life, of your existence. I see change, slow change for the things that you physically, tangibly have to work on every day. Consistent change, but it's slow and steady. And that's how you win the race, you know. So for my Aquarius couples, see, the psychic deck has to say, almost felt a jumper there, it didn't quite come out. Aquarius couples, love begins. So I'm sorry. Sometimes I amaze myself. Okay, so Aquarius is, for those of you who are leaving a relationship, a person from your past, yes, that's your person. I mean, I've alluded to it. I try not to do that, but yeah, I try not to get ahead of the reading, although sometimes guides talk really fast. You're going to see a path open up for you to be able to get back to this person from the past. You just have to take the step. Now, for those of you who are in a loving, committed, high vibrational relationship. We see your love elevating. We see your love going to the next step. We see the expression of love for some of you who are just now committing to this relationship. We see your partner saying I love you, or you saying that to your partner. We see you guys starting new projects together that are going to be abundant and prosperous. And I also see a couple of surprise pregnancies for some newly connected Aquariuses in relationships. So for my Aquariuses that have been in a relationship less than 6 months, I see a surprise pregnancy during this time. So don't, if you're not looking for that, you might want to wear protection, because this is a very, very fertile period for Aquarius. Okay, victory and success. Again, if you are not looking to have a child, I would wrap it up. Make sure I'm wearing protection. But I see this being very successful for couples in a high vibrational aspect. Whatever you're working towards as a couple, a new home, selling your home, major projects and things of that nature, starting businesses, starting charities, these things are going to be highly, highly favored, highly successful. I see people who are realizing they are not with their soulmate, they are not with their twin flame. These Aquarius is living these long-term relationships you could have been in for 6 months to 6 years. I see you realizing that this is not your soulmate, that not only is this not your soulmate, this is not even someone who you knew. So I see a lot of people making changes, and I see that many of our Aquarius who do know who their twin flame or soulmate is, you're going to be trying to find this person and reconnect with this person. Looks like some great distance, great times happened in between, but the universe is blessing the union. You're just going to have to try. It's like the person that caused a disruption, the person that left, or the person that asked the other to leave. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to eat that karma and go back to the person and tell them you made the biggest mistake of your life, basically. For those of you vibing with me on that aspect, for my Aquariuses, again, we see the privileged lady. For those of you who are in highly aspected relationships, this is your counterpart, this is your spouse, this is the person who is going to help fulfill your dreams and vice versa. However, for those of you who realize that the relationship that you are currently in or currently leaving, it is not your soulmate, you're going to see the privileged person come back in. You're going to make your way back towards that privileged lady or privileged male. It just depends on your energy. You're going to be making your way back. That's where you should be. For those of you who didn't make that change, you see the Sun and Wealth card vigorously come out with the 11. Vigorously. This is going to bring in abundant change. So for those of you guys who are making a switch, you realize this, you are not in a relationship with your twin flame. It looks like you know who your twin flame is, and reconnecting with that twin flame is going to bring a world of abundance, not just financial, but in every aspect to your life. You're going to become privileged, and you're going to experience victory and success like twin flames should, as they are raising the vibration of the world. So work on that, okay? Now, for the final word for my Aquarius couples, looked like we had two aspects there. Some of you guys are breaking up, and some of you guys are growing closer together. So it says, sound the fierce flute. Discernment empowers you to make choices that are aligned with your intentions. Like a fierce sounding flute, cutting through all the vibrations with purity and intent. Your discernment allows you to stay true to your values without getting caught up in distraction. To grow spiritually through love, joy, peace, and abundance, make high vibrational choices that feel good to you. You have to make the choices that are best for you. Not society, not your friends, not your family, not their expectations. Living by other people's expectations got a lot of my Aquarius singles, a lot of my Aquariuses that are going to be newly single, into situations for years that many of you for years that you shouldn't have been in, that delayed your path and the path of you and your twin flame together here. So, make your way back towards your twin flame for those of you in that situation. Congratulations for those of you moving into higher commitments within your relationships, Aquarius. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. You like and subscribe. I'm Bree. Be on the lookout for the weeklies in between, and I will check in with you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.